Greetings, Virgo. Greetings. This is Iyanda Siraj, the eclectic high priestess. I hope that I'm finding you well and in high spirits. Whether you are new or returning, thank you for sharing this space with me. I'm so grateful to have you. Virgo, shining, and ain't nothing subtle about it. Okay. So, okay, Virgo, that's your channel message. You shining, ain't nothing subtle about it. All right. So, that message can have something to do with the rest of this message, but we don't know. Let's see. What do we have for Virgo for the month of June? Okay. For the month of June, I'm already picking up on your eyes awakening to something, your eyes opening to something. Okay. And I'm just hearing the word illumination. I'm literally seeing like sun rays. Okay. So it's like, all right. Okay, so you have this. I'm just going to stop. You have Sagittarius energy here. You have many paths and grow up. Okay, so I do feel like that sun ray. I feel like you're being illuminated to many directions that you could take your life in this point. At this point with the Sagittarius energy here, it's almost like you really want to take some type of leap or do something that's spontaneous and fun. I also feel too that there is definitely a sense of maturing about freedom, what freedom means, I'm hearing what freedom means because there is some sense of, okay, I want to say this. When you decide that you're going to budgeting, although it seems restrictive, also does offer freedom. Okay, it offers freedom from stress, worrying about whether you have money, whether you don't have money. Budgeting is the mature way to relieve money stress. Okay, so that's just an example tied to money. Now, when it talks to lovers and love and relationship, this could be speaking to seeing how bringing your energy back in and giving to one could benefit you more than sharing your energy with multiple, even though sharing your energy with multiple seems like more freedom or seems like more fun. Okay, so they have a maturing here about what it means to have your energy dispersed into so many different places. I'm even hearing too that someone who was more social or felt like, like they needed their crew or they needed to be accepted by people is now growing up, okay, and realizing that they don't have to walk the same path as people in order to be accepted. Okay, so you grow up with people and you have family and things like that. You grow up with people, you don't have to walk the same path as people in order to feel validated or anything like that. So I do get a sense that there's definitely a sense of maturing when it comes to looking at what's available to you or what's possible for you. Okay, Virgo, what else do we have here, Virgo, for the month of June? Okay, so Virgo, you're showing up as yourself. I do feel like definitely there's some sense of you really getting in touch with some truths of yourself. I'm picking up on wounded warrior energy too. So I think that you could be tiring out from a certain way of living. And so maybe this is making you reflect on a different type of lifestyle. Okay. Those other paths that we were talking about. We got 4-4 here. So stability, home life, this could all be talking about that. Okay. What it means to feel stable, secure in home. All right. This is play and call your mammy. Okay, so play is with many paths. I do feel like, especially for Virgo, you guys can be a little serious about certain things, and so very strategic and trying to plan and just want to know you have handle of it. Okay, so I do feel like there's a sense of letting go a little bit with the play energy popping up in the many paths. You could be exploring different things right now, testing the waters for different things. Okay, now with call your mammy and grow up coming out together, I do get the feeling that there is something where someone did have some type of reliance on mom. Anytime you needed to feel accepted, anytime that you needed extra money, whatever, you always was calling mammy. Okay, but with grow up, it's talking about the freedom to walk away from your current path and still feel supported by your mama. Okay, so can you still call your mom if you decide to walk away from the path that has been accepted by them? Okay, so there's definitely a question there for you, Virgo. Let's see what else we have here for the month of June. This feels good though. It feels like, you know, okay, it feels like the moment you realize that no matter what you decide to do, like people are gonna love you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's almost like some sense of acceptance here too. Whereas you might have felt like overly criticized or overly judged in the past, for some reason this feels like you choosing something and then realizing that it was always going to be okay no matter what you chose. Okay, I told somebody that. Think tank. What else do we have here? Root cause. And don't say anything. Okay, so the first thing I was going to say was I told someone about this. This person constantly had a question of like, well, how do you think that people are going to accept that? Do you think people will be into that? Do you think people would take that as truth? The fact of the matter is people respond to you the way you respond to you. Okay, so if you hide yourself, they're going to shun you and look away from you. If you come out and you're confident, then people are going to look, even if they don't quite understand, they're going to be looking and interested and intrigued. Okay, because you've owned it. You know that you're eccentric, or you know that you know what you're talking about, or whatever the case may be. When you treat yourself like that and come forward with yourself like that, then other people will treat you that way. I was talking to somebody about being bisexual, or being in a non-traditional relationship, okay, like plural partners and things like that. And they're like, well, do you think that that would be acceptable? Like, I'm like, well, people are going to respond to it the way you respond to it, and then the people who don't respond positively, you won't even be paying attention because you happy. You won't even care. So I think that was it, right? Okay, so beauty. Okay, so beauty, and then return of investment. I'm gonna just tell y'all what that I just heard. So beauty. So some of you are letting go of very superficial standards when it comes to picking partners. I'm also picking up that you all are also dropping some type of facade. Okay, how you're trying to make yourself look better than you really are, not just in physicality, but dressing yourself up to be a certain thing. And because return of investment over there, I'm also feeling like you're thinking about that. I'm hearing the song, Pretty taught me ugly lessons. Pretty had me giving way more than I was getting. Okay, so Drake said he's rethinking pretty, like, oh, I've been chasing models and I've been doing this and I've been thinking this and this, and I need these beauty standards and I need them to be light skinned and this. Okay, so Drake is having an epiphany in that song because he's saying any of those situations, I basically ended up trying to buy that person's love. I ended up in an imbalanced connection because here I am chasing, 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 and all they're doing is taking. So there's something there about the lessons that beauty or pretty has taught you. Okay, come through, Drake. We had think tank. Okay, so I do feel like this is with Sagittarius, Virgo, think tank. There's a shift that's happening to you where you're not thinking so seriously. I think that you're trying to not overthink things. You really want to do something spontaneous, and it's funny because you don't consider yourself a truly spontaneous person, even though you feel like you can do spontaneous things. Okay, so there's something here about overthinking it. Many paths, play, and root cause. I do feel also there about just exploring what ties you to the more immature ideals about relationships, beauty, money, life in general, enjoying your life. Also, what is the root cause of the rigidity when it comes to the box that you've put yourself in about who you can be and who you can't be? Okay. Root cause, root chakra is going to take you back to family. I mean, and we had that, we'll call you mammy and grow up. So I do feel like there is a sense about that. It's going to tie back to family and beauty standards. You could have been raised by a parent who was colorist, even if they weren't outward with it. They didn't necessarily like their own skin tone, or they would criticize you about yours. Okay, kind of picking up Michael Jackson vibes. Him and his daddy had that whole thing with his skin and his nose, right? Whatever. Then you have grow up, call your mammy, and don't say anything. So with this don't say anything is really picking up as like advice that you got from somebody. I honestly feel like You may need to stand up for yourself in a situation regarding either poor advice that you got or someone who is intentionally manipulating your thought process regarding a certain situation. Okay, so you may need to step up because now you see this. Okay, it says call your mammy and don't say anything. Grow up, call your mammy, don't say anything. So I'm not sure what that's talking about. We might have to clarify a little bit, but it definitely feels like there is a sense of you kind of stepping outside of yourself or whatever box you've been in. And I feel like you're totally unaware that you were in a box. Like, you know, the high priestess. Okay. Yeah. So something is coming out, you about to relieve yourself of something, and it's going to be very empowering. It feels like the high priestess is here to tell me too. I feel like you could you could be setting off on just a new path. Many paths are here at the intuition. It's almost like something is for you, and so you're going to pursue that. There's fears that people around you have about you pursuing this thing, Virgo. But you are listening to your inner wisdom, and that feels good. And I think what's happening is you may have to defend yourself, or you may have to defend someone close to you regarding their path or regarding the path that you're about to set on. So if this is in fact family who don't want you to be with a person because of a certain path or because of a certain history, this is you defending. Okay, and I also feel that when we're talking about the root cause of why you have to go up to bat so hard is because of secrecy and lies in the past. So I don't know what that means for you, but take it if it resonates. Okay. Six of Wands, Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands. So I feel like there's definitely a sense of illusion when it comes to victory. Okay, but let's see what comes out. Some type of illusion when it came to victory. So maybe what I'm picking up. I'm picking up an energy of a boy or a girl who has a crush in school, right? And you never really got your shot with that person. And then, maybe you see each other in adulthood and you're still thinking about like, man, I should take that chance. But maybe you have other stuff going on, right? So this is one of those things about illusions. You really probably felt like you really still wanted that person, like you really, really wanted that person. And then you went after it, only to find out that it didn't really hold the value that not to say that it wasn't good or bad, it wasn't good or bad, but it just didn't hold the value that you thought it had or that you initially placed upon it. Okay. So that's why they say sometimes you got to leave the past in the past, and that chance that you wanted to take, sometimes it's best to just let that be. Okay. We have the moon card coming out here in the middle of your reading. Virgo, play, call your mammy, and the moon. So yeah, deceptions. I feel like, you could have been emotionally emotionally manipulated regarding a certain situation. I feel like in May, some of this stuff may have been unsurfaced because we have secrecy cards here. For the month of June. And I think that these things are going to come to the forefront. And part of this is really going to be about you just saying that because I think that you've known this whole time, but you didn't want to cause a ruckus, and you didn't want to acknowledge what you threw away in the past, based on just whatever this advice or guidance or whatever this is. I don't really know, but with think tank is usually multiple people putting their thoughts together. So whatever this collective was that you were in, the Knight of Pentacles, they slowed you down. They've been slowing you down. Yeah, see, message to share visitors. Okay. So I do feel like there's definitely a sense of secrecy that is stalling things. Secrecy, hidden intention, hidden motives by you or people around you that are slowing things down. Now, because I tend to speak from people's higher self, this is talking to you, Virgo. This is talking to you, and some things that you have yet to uncover or expose about your own self, and they're keeping whatever this bondage is, they're keeping it going because you have not acknowledged the truth. You acknowledge it, but you have not brought it to the forefront, and it will completely eradicate everything that's going on in a situation. Okay. Yep, because you got the Hierophant showing up with the High Priestess. There's definitely a divine union here. I'm also picking up on some type of legal stuff, some type of legal. Maybe this could be a secret marriage, but I honestly feel like it's like office. So it could be some type of office romance or some type of I don't know. Somebody could have got fired too, but whatever. Either way, there's some type of marriage here, some type of union, establishment that has happened or taking place. So the Ace of Pentacles was behind it. So actually, it may not have already taken place, but the opportunity has presented for it to take place. And sometimes, so the door is open, and so are you going to take it? With the Knight of Pentacles here, though, I do feel like there's just holding back. It's taking you a long time to say something. The advice maybe was not to say anything, to let it go, I think. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see what else we have here for Virgo, month of June for Virgo. I see the clock. I do think that's for you. We have the clock. So this is speaking to perfect timing. You're talking about taking risks. So it does feel like you are being divinely guided to take whatever this risk is. Clock is card 55. So I feel like it is like the test, like time has passed. Lots of time has probably passed here with the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight, the knight in the deck. So that may be your question here about whether you will be received or whether there is still room to make change in this situation. This talks about that this is actually, it had to happen. This has to happen. It's like, you're saying, is it going to happen? This says, yes, it has to happen. Okay. But the clock is talking about the past as well. So whatever path you chose in the past, you could have been chasing waterfalls. Okay. Could have been chasing waterfalls. So what else is here for Virgo? Ship, going places. Okay. Gemini just had that as well. So I just heard something about a Gemini moon sign, or a Gemini placement that's significant, especially if you tend to only look at your sun sign. So maybe Virgo, if that's you and you tend to only look at Virgo, this is telling you that you need to look at your moon sign, or you need to look at Gemini placements for some significant insight, okay? In your own birth chart, not necessarily readings, but like in your own birth chart, it's something that's significant there. Okay, so play, call your mammy, going places. Okay, so yeah, I do feel like there's some movement getting ready to take place with this, with the ship card. It's been slow, but we'll see if it's speeding up. Is it going to speed up? The diamond ring. See, the Knight of Pentacles is slow, but usually when he comes, he has a very stable offer, okay? And the diamond ring in this deck is more tied to proposals and engagements. It's a more romantic energy, okay, than the normal rings that are in this deck. So for me, this definitely feels romantic. So whatever this past thing was, you really, really, really are in a position right now where if you don't overthink it and you just make this move, it can be successful. There's a lot of growth to be had in this situation. Okay. I'm also picking up too, if you wait for people to agree with you, then you're not going to have it. It's not going to happen for you. If you try to wait for people to agree with you. See, loyal, the dog was in reverse right here. So that means that you're not being loyal to your own sense of self. You're not being loyal to your own path and what you know is true for you. It's telling you to devote yourself more. The lion. So divine masculinity, or to the authority over your own life. Also, the lion talks about following your heart. Okay. And then it says things work against you. So you're loyal. There, you have a deep loyalty to things that are harming you, things that are working against you, Virgo. Okay. But it feels like you're aware of this, and if you maintain persistence, or if you maintain persistence, that there is still some actualization of a dream here, okay, that can be had. I dig it. What else do we have for Virgo? Virgo for the month of June. pathway opening. Okay, Gemini had that same card, pathway opening. So I do feel like you definitely need to look at maybe your moon sign, or you need to explore compatibility, something like that. You also have another ship here, so going places for sure with the pathway card. That means that I'm picking up on travel now. So there's definitely some sense of reflecting on some option that was presented to you in the past, maybe to get out of your hometown, maybe to take a job overseas, or I'm even picking up like like a nomadic lifestyle. You could be just looking at these different options that have been presented to you. Okay. There's a lot of people on this ship too. So for instance, maybe you're not just thinking about it for yourself, but I think maybe you're looking at okay, so me and my daughter were having a conversation about like family members who've moved away from our hometown, and the lifestyles that they live and how different it is from the people who are at home. Okay. Not better or worse, but just that there's definitely a difference, okay, in how they operate and how they move, how they think, just in what they have in life. So there's definitely a sense of you looking at the example of other people who have taken certain leaps. You could have a specific person that you're looking at, but in general, you're looking at an example, it looks like, and you're inspired by it. With the pathway here, it's like you're inspired by somebody else's path or somebody else's choices, okay? When lots of butterflies here too. So not only that, but it's like transforming. So whatever person or whatever entity you're looking at, it's like you see that there's a certain transformation that has happened. You've gotten to see it like firsthand, and this is inspiring to you. And I feel like this is sudden wealth popping out. I also feel like this is tied to your destiny. I think that you're having some realization about how destiny has been calling you. Okay. Sudden wealth is here now. For some of you, you were blessed. You have been already in the past blessed with wealth. Okay. And the wealth also molded or influenced your decision based on which direction you want to go. So it's like, if you had everything you needed to do the one thing that you always wanted to do, would you do it? Okay. And so or like, if you had everything at your disposal, what would you choose? Okay. So that's kind of the idea here. Some of you chose to cash out and become somebody's piggy bank. Okay. So like, this is one of those things. I told you, you have, maybe you didn't have anybody, you could have been single, it doesn't matter. But either way, when you got this wealth, you decided to chase after something that was once out of reach for you, which is typical for a lot of people. It's also like a race thing, but we won't get into that. But they say that, like Black men or African American men had this affinity towards women outside of their race because for so long they were oppressed and weren't allowed to pursue that. So it was like a thing that was off limits. So there's like this type of energy there too. Not as deep, obviously, but so and then the snake comes back out. Y'all see me shuffling these cards, so the snake is coming back out. So this could be tied to some Gemini for sure. Secrets, deceptions for sure with the moon card here. I do feel like it's also perception. So you could have had like altered perception in the situation, altered perception or altered view of a person. Okay. Virgo, I don't know what she was doing, but there is a Gemini here that stopped you from going into union, some type of union. You have the masculine and feminine energy here together, and then you have the snake. So I feel like there was some type of deceptive energy here that, now, whether that was your own addictions, that could have been your own addictions and your own like lust energy. That's what I'm picking up on. But either way, there was a Gemini energy, secret, some type of secret, something that you did or somebody that's connected to you that definitely, a woman behind the woman's back or with this Gemini woman. Yeah. Look, 2 relationships, 2 faces, 2 women. This is a main woman. So this would be the woman who either was cheated on or the woman that wasn't chosen. Okay. And you can title them however you want to, but this person probably already had children, all these different things. And so there was a sense of a lack of freedom, right? Whatever. Okay, so let's see how we want to close this message for Virgo in the month of June. What do we have for Virgo here? Parvati. I just heard mother of abundance. Mother of abundance. I can't remember if Parvati is Ganesh's mom, but we're gonna find out. If she is indeed Ganesh's mom, then she's literally the mother of abundance. She births abundance. She is the hen that lays the golden egg. Okay, if that is the case, but even if she's not, that's the imagery that's coming to my mind. But I'm not. I would be remiss not to point out that that's two women, and that's significant of Gemini energy, right? The twins. What do we have for Virgo? 95. Goddess of devotion, love, and yoga. You pull upon Parvati when you've taken immense action towards becoming your highest self. In Hindu mythology, Parvati was in love with the unattainable Shiva, who was deep in the mountains practicing yoga and detached from the material world. She knew he needed the feminine to bring him down to earth, but he was totally inaccessible. Instead of begging and pleading, Parvati decided to become her highest self and seek enlightenment through yoga. Her family objected, saying women cannot become yogis, but she headed to the mountains anyway, where she stood in a frigid stream, balancing on one leg for uncountable months or years. Eventually, Shiva felt her immense energy and fell in love with her because of her strength and determination. Parvati represents commitment to practice, unbreakable willpower, and the power of self-transformation. Continue your journey towards enlightenment. In its reverse energy, like a body with no spinal cord, you may have lost your grounding and become loose, floating in every direction. What is it you are committed to? A person with no commitments is like a wave with no direction. It's crucial to always have direction in life, and that direction should always be pointing inward. Spiritual development is a journey that unfolds only when you begin to walk the path. Recommit yourself to your daily asana and meditation practice for 30 days and watch your life slowly rebuild its spinal cord. So Virgo, yeah, it's talking about you recommitting to yourself. I'm also picking up that if you walked away from a path because of judgment and criticism, maybe from family unit or from your friends, you are reconnecting with those beliefs and those in that path at this time. And this Parvati really speaks to the message of the divine feminine, or the path of the divine feminine, excuse me, who holds in her heart the truth of her feelings and her knowledge of what is to be between her and her divine masculine, outwardly, of course. She held true to her power. She held true to the knowledge of what she felt and what she saw in her spirit, in her spiritual thought, and her spiritual sight. She held out. She went and focused on transcending her own demons. She went in and focused on ascending on her own path. And this is what brought Shiva's attention to her. I don't know, I'm just going to say this, but I don't know how many clients I've coached, Virgo, and told them to focus on themselves. I learned that lesson through my dealings with a Virgo, y'all. So I tell my clients all the time, you have to detach and focus on you. That is how you will get what you're supposed to get, okay? Whether that comes from the person that you're trying to get it from right now or someone else. But until you focus on yourself, heal yourself, position yourself for the things that you want outside of that person, only then will you begin to be seen by the people or the energies, the vibrations that you need to be seen by. Okay. All right, Virgo, that's all I got for you. Peace.